comes to this is really letting yourself be who you are. And I was actually just reading something on Instagram, and it was a reel, and it was talking about the different emotional stages like love, fear, anxiety, hate, all of those, right? Those are all in alignment with your chakras, and that's a whole other episode. But really they were saying like, what is the highest emotion or the energy that's coming from people? And everybody likes to say love, but they said being authentically you is like almost 4 times higher of an energy that's coming off of you. So when you're authentically you, you'll understand that the people that are around you are going to be attracted to that. And if they're not, they'll start to repel from that. So the people who were around you when you were being you are the people who are most in line with who you are. As soon as you start to remove yourself in certain situations and not to be you, then you'll start to see other people who are not in alignment that are around you or start to come through. But then as you start to slowly move back to who you are and what you want to have, and as you think and as you move, you will start to see like, hey, okay, cool.
If you want to walk away right now, feel free to do so. And if you want to ride with me, ride with me. And some people will walk away. Like, everybody wasn't there. Everybody didn't stay there with us. She had good values. I just freed you from slavery. So you would think automatically you going to come my way because you going to love me. But after they heard her values, they was like, shoot, I'm out. I ain't rocking with you. And you can see the pain on her voice, but you can see the pain on her face. But guess what? She was like, okay, cool. I'm going to take the people, focus on the people I do got here and, lead them. And that's one thing I say too, comes with being authentically you.
Welcome back to the Awaken Your Best podcast, the #1 podcast for ambitious leaders and individuals who want to be more successful than the haters out there. I am your host, Terrence Feagin, along with my brother, Rasta White, hailing from Detroit, Michigan. And we got a good topic for y'all today. We got a great topic for y'all today. Matter of fact, we got an amazing topic. Rasta really is the mastermind behind what we do. And he just told me, he said, this is all about the art of managing relationships, right? And is that the actual title that you said, Rasta, or was it kind of something else?
Yep, the art of managing relationships on the road to success.
Hey, on the road to success. And we all on the road to success. And if you're not on the road to success, you probably wouldn't be listening to this podcast. But if you are on the road to success, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. So tune in, man. This is going to be a great one. Rasta, brother, what was your reason for coming up with this today, man? As I sip on this delicious drink my wife just handed me.
Yeah, I see you. It's Saturday. Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Bro, there's something, and we haven't mastered this, by the way. If you listening, this is something I feel everybody got to constantly keep relearning, keep reinventing yourself to figure these things out, because we all have a heart. If you don't have a heart, you probably wouldn't be listening to this or attracted to our podcast. But we all have a heart. So it's like, when you're on your road to success, especially you following God, when you got to make certain decisions, it may feel like, when it comes to the people you love, it just might hurt you. And then it's like, how is this the right decision if it's hurting me? Or why should I have to isolate myself away from this person? This my boy, this my homegirl I grew up with. Like, why do I have to step back from them in order to get success? And then it's something that we learning, but it's so essential, and there's ways to do it, by the way. We're not saying, a lot of motivational speakers is out there telling you just cut people off and run, right? Or whatever. And sometimes it might get to that point. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes you might have to just, cut them off. But for the most part, there's always a way to manage your relationships in a healthy way, to where you ain't gotta cut the person off completely. It's more so just like a distance or a healthy relationship. So I actually want Terrence to kick it off, because I feel like, I learned a lot from him when it comes to managing relationships with, like, your parents and people that got a strong hold over you and can literally influence you to just go backwards. So Terrence, bro, what's like bro, give us some strategies, man, that you use to manage your relationships every day.
So one of the biggest strategies that I know is like focusing on what I want out of my life. If people are not in alignment with what I want, and it may sound selfish for some people, but you got to realize this is your life, your spirit, we only get one of these. So if they are not in alignment with what you want, you gotta let them go. And that's just the reality of it. If his parents, if his friends, if his brothers and sisters, if they are not in, I would say, in conclusion or in that's another word
Harmony.
I can't even remember. Yeah, even harmony. Like if they are not in alignment, you gotta go. But the real thing that I've noticed is that if you allow for people who are not seeking the same successes as you, then understand like you're not going to be happy. You know, I find the most joy and the most happiness when I'm doing the things that I like or things that are in alignment with what I want. And the people that are not, it takes you off of that path. So you have to let them go, even if they're friends and even if they're mothers. But you know, I think we do have one of the tips. So we got 5 tips today that I want to go over, and that's one of the first ones. But just reminding yourself that, you know, if you want to have success, and the person who is kind of burdening you and not really on that same mindset as you, you have to learn how to separate yourself and focus on what you want. Because again, there's only one opportunity to do this, and you know,
One
once it's
life,
over,
one purpose.
it's no more after that, man. What you think about that?
Bro, I agree 100%. You know, far as we know, we got one life, and we all
Hmm.
got our own levels of happiness. And
Right.
you know what feels right to you. You know what doesn't feel right to you. And
Hmm.
me personally, as a natural people pleaser, I have been in situations where I kept doing things that made me unhappy for the happiness of others.
Yeah.
Now, don't get it twisted. We ain't
Mm.
talking about not practicing selflessness. That's a whole nother thing. Serving and giving
Yeah.
it's different than just compromising who you are just to make another person happy. Like we don't
Mm.
I truly don't agree with that. And what I noticed too, like when I get advice from a lot of older people, that's like one of the main things they talk about. They regret not doing the things that they wanted to do, or they regret compromising themselves and not making the decisions they know they should have made, all because
Mm.
of other people. So that's what I
Yeah.
say, bro. To that, I agree wholeheartedly. You cannot. Sometimes you just got to step back.
Have to. And it's okay. Like at first it's gonna be like, man, dang, I had to step back from this person, you know, in order to really get to that goal. But a lot of times you will see is that if you didn't, you will still be in that same place that, you know, that person is. And because it comes down to this, not everybody is ambitious as me and you or as just you. And a lot of times your ambition may make them look bad. And in turns, they may start hating or have some type of envy against you. And hey, shrink your circle. Jay-Z said it all the time. Like, you know, you have to make your circle smaller and in order to be greater. Like what it was one line where he said, yo, it's not many of us, but man, yo, it's plenty of us. Like you only need 2 to 3 bad mother lovers to be able to go out and do what you need to do. Me and Rasta, we a
Yeah.
2-man army, you know, we conquering, we
Mhm.
building, we're doing exactly what we need to do. But, you know, honestly, like we don't let a lot of people in our circle unless we feel like you are in alignment with what we want to go through. And that's just like that. It is what it is, you know. Rasta, I want to kind of move on to, you know, it's a good segue because a lot of times that when you are trying to separate yourself from the actual pack of people who may not be in alignment with what you want, you know, you could get emotional about it and it can really burden you and get you in the way. But one thing I say, and this is really step 2, is that you do not need to respond in emotion. A lot of times we will get in a situation where we're arguing with friends, spouses, or family members, and we think we want to separate. And a lot of times we make that bad decision on what we say or wanting to separate off of emotions because we're overly excited or we're overly angry. And I'm here to tell you right now is that I think we talked about it on another episode, but don't make problems or don't make your ultimate last answer when you're emotional, you know?
Mhm. Bro, 100%. And that's something y'all probably gonna hear from us a lot because
Yeah.
not making decisions based off emotion is not
Hmm.
easy. You know, we know
Yeah.
it's not easy, but it's something you have to learn. Otherwise, you won't have good relationships. You just won't. And I'm not
Yeah.
even just talking about family. You won't have good business partnerships either. You know,
Yeah.
it's all a circle. If you can't work out a relationship with whoever, blah blah blah, figure out a way to communicate, how you gonna do that in a business partnership? How you gonna do that on your road to success? Because you gotta network with people one way or another. There's only so much money and success you're gonna be able to get by yourself. You know, it's only
Right.
so much. The most wealthy people in the world, the happiest people in the world, they got some type of community. They got some type of support system. And if you look them up, I'm sure they all have solid, healthy relationships. So
Yeah,
that's
big
really what
time.
we want to talk about with these 5 steps. These 5 tips is mainly to help you manage your relationships in a effective way, so you can move on and you ain't gotta feel just so. Because I'm a highly emotional person. You know, that's something I recently been learning about myself. I'm definitely highly emotional. I hide my emotions a lot, but for the most part, I'm highly emotional. So when it comes to family, when it comes to my brothers and my mom and all of them, you know, it's hard sometimes to have to step back. Like it hurts. Like you just gotta, or you know,
Where you
somebody calling you in. Uh huh.
where you feel like that stem from? You being an emotional guy.
Oh, emotional. I think, you know, I think we all human. We all emotional. I
Yeah.
mean, when I say emotional, I don't think it's nothing. You know, like um, I don't think it's nothing like, you know, nothing too
Yeah, you're not a
crazy. I think it's
crybaby.
more so.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's more so like I was a guy.
Yo, thank you for tuning into this podcast right now. I want to say, if you like this, make sure that you subscribe and like the video. Comment down below what you like so far. Of course, we're bringing these podcasts to you all the time, and we just want to continue to grow. So you can actually help us to grow by commenting down below, liking the video, and also subscribing. Tell a friend to tell a friend all about this podcast, and we'll see y'all real soon. Let's get back to the video.
Who thought who I can get cold. You know, I got cold at a point because I was bottling up emotions, and I just was kind of like, I want to be successful, and I don't care about, you know, nobody. But I was lying to myself. I'm like, bro, you care. You know, like you care about your people. You feel me? You love. You need love too around you. So I started learning that. And as you know, as I start, you know, self-awareness and all that good stuff, something that you also gotta really put the time in for. Understand who you are. Take personality tests. Do whatever you gotta do to understand who you naturally are. But overall, bro, relationships are very important to me. As I grow business, I'm starting to learn. And then also one thing I look at too, the relationships that I didn't mess up in the past, where I communicated and was like, hey, I'm about to go a different direction. Just by you communicating that with a person, you'll be surprised. You tell your cousin or your brother, like, look, bro, this is what I want in my life. You make it clear. This is what I want to do with my life. You know, I'm not judging you. I have nothing against what you have going on. But if I go this way, we're probably going to slowly start to veer away from each other. And I think when you communicate that type of stuff, people be less mad and less bitter. Because, you know, people be mad when you just
Cut
go,
them off.
like you said, they get envious and all. And I feel like a lot of that is unnecessary, bro. Like,
Yeah.
let's be real. Let's be clear. Let's get out our feelings. It's simple as this. I want this. You want that. We can't both do it. You know, so.
Can't do it both. I love that, man.
Yeah.
That's clear. That makes sense. One thing I'll speak with when it comes to emotion is that a lot of us don't realize this, but our emotions dictate what our results are. And if you continue to let your emotions dictate where your results are, you're never going to have control over what your results are. You're never going to have an understanding of what you really want out of your life. And the only way to really control that is by kind of sitting back, pausing, taking a deep breath, thinking about what's happening, and then let that create your emotions. The only possible way that that's going to happen for you is if you take control of your emotions. So don't let it happen. What's up, baby?
Yeah, bro. You hitting it on the nose. Emotional control is the big. And it's funny because we telling, you know, a relationship is an emotional thing. It's an emotional, you know, thing God created. So emotion is going to be tied to it. It's just about controlling your emotions, not getting upset and cutting a person off, and that be your last interaction. Maybe you should make peace with the person, you know, before y'all go separate ways. Like, look, you got your mind made up, I got my mind made up, but we don't need to hate each other, you know.
Right.
I'm about to do this, you about to do that. I'll support you from a distance, you support me from a distance. And you know that just be that. So
all right, so Rasa, that was amazing, man. So let's move on to step number 3, which is to be authentically you. And when it comes to this, is really letting yourself be who you are. And I was actually just reading something on Instagram, and it was a reel, and it was talking about the different emotional stages like love, fear, anxiety, hate, all of those, right? Those are all in alignment with your chakras. And that's a whole nother episode. But really they were saying like, what is the highest emotion or the energy that's coming from people? And everybody likes to say love, but they said being authentically you is like almost 4 times higher of an energy that's coming off of you. So when you're authentically you, you'll understand that the people that are around you are going to be attracted to that. And if they're not, they'll start to repel from that. So the people who were around you when you were being you are the people who are most in line with who you are. Soon as you start to remove yourself in certain situations and not to be you, then you'll start to see other people who are not in alignment that are around you or start to come through. But then as you start to slowly move back to who you are and what you want to have, and as you think and as you move, you will start to see like, hey, okay, cool. Now I'm in a better, deeper place. Now I'm okay with who I am. I'm in love with what I'm doing. And those people may have also moved away from you. So, some of the things that I do that I'm authentically me is that, I'm going to speak my mind. I'm going to ask questions, and I'm going to actually, honestly, in every situation, I don't change. I don't change who I am. And I start to see that either you rock with that or you don't. And the people that don't, they're not around. So, really here is just being authentically you. So Rasta, in what situation have you been authentically you and you feel like, hey, this is actually better for me?
Bro, this is my favorite tip. And why I'm going to say that is because it's hard. People listening to this, I know it's hard. Like I said, I'm naturally a people pleaser. So there's been plenty of situations where I tried to, not be myself, or I tried to be what I thought I needed to be in that moment to, just have, just to fit in with whatever the situation is. And what I'm learning is that, for one, people don't like that. That's what I'm learning. People don't really like when they feel like you being fake. Like, people just to be like, they don't want to be around you. That's one thing I learned. And two, another thing I learned is crazy. You will be surprised how many people actually do like the real you. Do like you, like, an example of compromising is like, when you got certain people in the car, you trying to play certain music. That's an example of like you compromising who you really are and things of that nature. So that's one thing I learned. It's like, bro, I gotta stop. And this would be a perfect example, right? Moving back home. I went to the military. I grew in a lot of different ways. Now when I'm back in Detroit, it's times where, not really no more, but it used to be times where I try to be the old me. You know, I try to be who I was. I try to act like I ain't learned, and now I'm not overdoing this type of stuff. I'm trying to just pretend dumb like
yourself
I'm
down.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to dumb myself down instead of, like, I talk way more proper than I did before I left. Like, now when I'm around my family, they say, you talk so proper. When I first heard that, I'm like, oh man, I'm forgetting where I come from.
Man, forget you. Yeah, I bossed up and got this money, right? That's what y'all saying to D.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, go ahead, bro.
I bossed up, bro. Yeah, like I bossed up. Like, that's the mindset I'm starting to get now. Because the authentic version of you is the best you. And another thing I want to touch on, you asked for an example. So that has been the main example. What I've been doing, I've been coming home now. When I'm around my family, I'm just being myself. I don't care. I'm saying my true opinions. I'm not trying to act like Lil Rasta who had the braids no more. That's over with.
Yeah.
That was a previous chapter. Now I'm more of a, I'm more of me. I set boundaries. I do things now that's more like, dang, my family don't expect that from me. But guess what? Y'all got to learn. This is the new me, Or my old high school friends, when I catch up with them now, it's a whole different conversation now. You feel me? So that like, this one is really important to me because it's essential. And my last thing I want to say about being authentically you is, I learned that with Brandon. It's the same thing. Like Terrence was saying, instead of trying to create content for the people you want to attract, how about you just be yourself and attract whoever you attract? You're going to attract certain people, and certain people going to be pushed away, and that's okay. Like, you can't impress you. Your authentic self will not please everyone. It just won't. I don't care how much charisma you got. There's going to be somebody that don't like you. You feel me? Look, any big influencer, Beyonce, or You could say you can go business route. Grant Cardone. There's people that don't like him. He's being his authentic self. Donald Trump is an extreme example. Him being his authentic self, a lot of people don't like him, but guess what? It's a lot of people that love him and would die for
love him. It's that thing where it's like either you love me or you hate me. And I kind of want to speak more to that, but yeah, there's an audience for everybody, bro. And there's an audience for everybody. And if you ain't in my audience, so it's easy for you to just not subscribe or not like or just move on. But this is what I want to say is that we all go through different seasons and we change through the seasons, like the summer, winter, spring. You know, we may change 4 different times in a year, but we really are. We need to remain who we are. But this is what I want to say to somebody that met you 800 seasons ago, somebody that met you 2 to 3 years ago, somebody that met you back in high school, whatever. And they see you in your present time. Don't judge me off of what I was at that time. Let me reintroduce myself. This is who I am. This is who I authentically am. And I want to kind of, speak to the topic as well, is that when I walk, so I'm in corporate right now. When I walk in a boardroom or I walk into a meeting, I'm me. I'm Terrence Feagin from Mansfield, Ohio, that grew up the youngest broke dude, finally making something on myself now, but I'm me. I'm African-American. I listen to hip hop. I'm not changing up my voice. I'm not changing up some of my mannerisms in order to impress you. Yeah, I may not cuss. I may not, use a lot of slang, but I'm authentically me. And for that, I've seen a lot of people gravitate towards me and like me for who I am, because we can all see through the fake. Like I tell my wife sometimes, because she's not real good on camera, and I'll tell her, like, you be switching up your voice. Like, you be acting a little different when you get on that camera and it's not authentically you. And I tell her and she be like, oh yeah, you right. Like, dang, why do I do that? And I'm just saying, just be you. Don't try to be somebody different or try to be like somebody you may have seen on like YouTube or on Instagram, whatever. Like, being you is going to be the person that people are attracted to. And that just brings it all back, is that their audiences for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Audiences for everybody. You can use a business too, for example, like Walmart. It's certain people that don't go to Walmart. Oh, yeah. They're very successful. A lot of, I'm saying that is like, the people you targeting and all of that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. And the people you're trying to impress, everybody is not going to like you. And again, this is not easy because, like I said, if you are an introverted, people-pleasing type of person, you got to start getting outside your comfort zone in order to assert to yourself that it's okay. I don't care that. Not I don't care necessarily, but some people just not gonna like me. I want to give you another example. I don't know for my Game of Thrones fans out there. You feel me? I remember when Daenerys
started crazy on Game of Thrones.
Bro, best show of all time. Even though they dropped the ball at the end, they still the best. But Daenerys Targaryen, like in season 1 or 2, when she was building her crew, and I noticed what she always would do was she'd be like, she'd free 100 people, for example, and she'd be like, if you want to walk away right now, feel free to do so. And if you want to ride with me, ride with me. And some people will walk away. Like, everybody wasn't there. Everybody didn't stay there with her. She had good values. I just freed you from slavery. So you would think automatically you going to come my way because you going to love me. But after they heard her values, they was like, shoot, I'm out. I ain't rocking with you. And she, you can see the pain on her voice, but you can see the pain on her face. But guess what? She was like, okay, cool. I'm going to take the people, focus on the people I do got here, and lead them. And that's one thing I say too comes with being authentically you. Hold up, you're still here and you haven't liked and subscribed to this channel yet? Man, click off of this video. No, I'm just playing. We really appreciate your time making it up into this point in the video. If you're getting value, please like, comment, and subscribe to the Awaken Your Best community. Come be a part of it. We're really trying to build, grow, help you out spiritually, mentally, financially, revolutionarily, every kind of way possible, okay? So leave that like, leave that comment, subscribe, share this with a friend that you feel can get some value from this, and enjoy the show. I'm about to get back to work. Praise God. Focus on the people that is rocking with you. Like, start responding to people if you watching our podcast, we gonna rock with you. We gonna you comment below. We appreciate you. We're not gonna focus on the 7.1 billion people that might not watch it. You feel? We're gonna focus on the millions because we will get there. We're gonna focus on the millions that is watching it. So yeah, bro, had a lot to say about that tip, bro, but
I love it.
That one really touched me. Yeah,
we might have to even make a whole episode on that one. Being authentically you is important because, as I said, that's the highest form of energy that you can really be in.
One thing I want to say too, bro.
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like you more so from when I met you. I feel like you always been like that. I feel like you always you never switched up who you was for people. I think some people they either catch on early or some people would just be in them. They not enough of a people pleaser to be like, I'm not finna change, who I am for. So I feel like that's something, bro, that I've seen in you, and that's one of the things I admire. Like, he ain't switching it up. If he think he tripping, he gonna tell bro like you tripping. He not gonna be like, well, this my best friend, so I ain't gonna tell him. I never seen that, bro. So
I'm gonna tell you, if you messing up and you told like it just come from what you told me. Like, if I know your life story, if I know exactly what you wanted, but you diverting from that path. And I'm like, hey, bro, get back right here, because that's what you told me you wanted, and that's because I genuinely like you, love you, and I just want the best for everybody. But if it's in a point where, like, even if I don't know you and I'm like, hey, bro, nah, like, I get you, I wouldn't rock that way because this will be the best for you. But yeah, authentically you is the best way to go. And honestly, like, if they don't love you for who you are and being you, then it don't matter, man. You don't gotta like them, man. All right, cool. So let's move to step number 4, and it's just really delivering on your promises. And for me, I've always been somebody that holds my word as bond. Like, your word is bond, kid. Like, a lot of people in New York, they say that a lot, but I take that as like me being responsible, because we have all these different things that we have in our life, materialistic, different things, money, cars, clothes, all these different things. But if you strip all of that away, you are man. And who is man but himself, but also your word, what you say you're going to do. If I tell you I'm going to show up at this time, I'm going to show up. If something happens, then like today, Rasa, we wanted to just film a little bit earlier. I told you, like, all right, cool. Y'all could do that. Oh, but nah, hey, man, I can't do that because of this situation. I'm going to let you know. So what I'm saying is that your word is the most important thing that you have, because once your word is gone, or you can't stand on your promises, then a lot of people are not going to respect you. They're not going to honor you. They're not going to want to be around you. So it's really about holding your word on what you say. So important, Rasta. When you agree, bro?
Bro, I agree 100%. And I'm gonna throw another Game of Thrones reference in there, because I know if somebody watching and listening, they probably like, ooh, they like Game of Thrones. So when you think of a person honoring a word, who the first person you thinking of? Put it in the chat, like, before I even say it. Like,
I'm gonna say Jon Snow, though.
Stark. Oh, he's saying Jon Snow. Well, it's the same thing. That's just he raised them. He instilled those values in him. So but Ned did die early, so that's another. Yeah, but Ned. So one thing we knew about Ned was that he honored his word. Period. I ain't gonna spoil the show, so I ain't gonna go too deep into that. But
man, spoil it, man. Give us the reference, man. It's old. They should have watched it. They should have watched it.
Well, we're just gonna put it this way. Ned made a promise to his sister, putting his own, like, he gave her his word and putting his own ego aside, putting his own everything aside. And he delivered on that promise all the way up until his death. He never, he probably would have eventually told, the truth about the situation. But he told his sister, she said, promise you'll never tell anybody. She died. He never told nobody, ever. You feel me? So that's real essential. Like Terrence talking about being on time. That's one thing I learned, because once your words start losing their power, you ain't really got nothing. Like Terrence said,
nothing.
Your money and success, you stripping all that away, because you can lose any of that any day. You strip all that away, bro. The most powerful tool you have is the word God gave you. Your words, your ability to, you feel me? So, bro, I agree with that 100%. Delivering on your promises. And how does this relate to our topic is, you got family members, you got friends, managing relationships. That's key. You got to deliver on your promises. And at least if you do that, that can keep a person from also feeling too like, it's hard to hate somebody who treats you right, or it's hard to envy somebody who, you feel me? It's hard to envy somebody who gonna tell you the truth. Like, look, I can't do it, or they gonna let you know, like, hey, I'm a show up, and then they always show up, and you could depend on them. Bro, that's just a priceless trait, bro.
Yeah, man. I got so many stories where I put people in situations to see if I can trust them and see if they can really deliver on what they tell me. And if they don't deliver on what they tell me and they give me excuses on why they couldn't deliver on that promise, my meter for respect, love, and appreciation for them and dependability is big. It goes down. It goes all the way down where I don't even, like, bro, I don't even think about you. And that may sound cold-hearted for people, but we got to think like, we're talking about success and order and also the life, this one life that we want. If you want to be able to be successful in this life, if you want to be able to move further from where you currently are in this life, you're going to have to be a little cold-hearted, but also you are going to have to deliver on your promises that you do for other people. And you can only bring people into your circle who can deliver on their promises. That's the life that we live. This is not no cakewalk. I don't believe that we were meant to come here and live a soft life. Rasta, we are men, or even as women, because they are equal. We are not to come here and live a soft life. We have to be hard. We have to be so emotionally and physically hard to where if you say you're going to give somebody something, you give it to them, bam, they're going to love and admire you and appreciate you. But then on return, if that person say they're going to give something back to you and they don't, and they got excuses, then, bro, how can I even trust you? How can I move forward? You're cut off from what my plans are to move forward. I can't worry about you. I can't do the things for you that you once said that you would do. So for me, it's like, yo, please deliver on your promises, because you're not, I can't bring you into the future for what I'm building. And the future that I'm building is going to be crazy for me because I know what I want. So that's just how it goes.
Bro, wholeheartedly, I agree. Like you said, and don't confuse deliver on your promises with meaning you need to be perfect. We ain't saying you need to be perfect. What we're saying is, if you can't deliver, you need to communicate it. Hey, I won't be able to make it. And communicate early too, not just 1 minute before the meeting. You saying, I'm not gonna make it. This person done got prepared for 15 minutes early. They ready. You know what I'm saying? So, but if you let them know an hour before, they can replan. They're like, okay, cool. He let me know an hour before, 30 minutes before. At least gave me some wiggle room to pivot. So you gotta. That's what we mean by delivering on your promises. Even if you can't do it, just communicate it, and you will find people will still love you. Like you said, I value that too, 100%. If I can't depend on you, If I can't depend on you, I'm a person who plan out pretty much everything. I can't make plans with you. You know, I can't plan you into nothing I got going on, because I got to calculate you as in one of the people that might not deliver. Like, you know, if I say I want these 10 people to help me with something, you're going to be the 5 out of the 10 that I don't expect to do nothing. And if you do it, I count it as a bonus. But the other 5, I'm like, yo, I know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know that these 5 people is going to deliver. So, bro, I agree with that 100%. And it was something else you said, as far as like people giving you their word and things of that nature. Yeah, I forgot. But anyway. Your
it's
word,
all good, bro.
Your word is everything. Oh, you said a soft life. There we go.
Yeah.
You said we're not meant to live a soft life. And I would say I agree with that 100%, because when you read any story in the Bible, when you read up on anybody with success, it's some type of hardness and toughness they had to go through. Like, it's people in the Bible that slayed giants. Like, it's, you know, David and things of that nature. And suffering is like part of, Jesus had to suffer to get his reward. Job is the perfect example. I feel like all of our lives is kind of like Job. You know, we lose stuff, we go through, you know, but God wants us to keep our faith so we can get rewarded at the end. So yeah, bro, that's big.
Trials and tribulations create you, and they build your character, and they mold you towards what you want in the future. If you're not either going through something or have came out of something, then it's coming for you, you know. And I think that if you face it head on and you realize that, hey, this is only going to build me, you have to go through the storm and look at the storm and say, hey, I'm ready for you. And yeah, you're going to be battered, you're going to be bruised, you're going to be tested, but on the other end of that, you're going to stand stronger. So listen, I think this is, of course, we're still on the art of managing relationships, but a lot of those relationships that you have are storms. They're trials and they're tribulations. And in order for you to become a better person, you just got to face them. All right. Let's move into the next one. And it's tip number 5. And this is our last tip. And it's basically all about knowing when to walk away. You got to know when to walk away. And we talked about this a little bit earlier, and I think on step 2, but you got to know when to walk away from relationships that are not building or becoming what you needed to become in order to strengthen your future self. And it's really, really, really important. Know when to walk away in order to better yourself. Rasta, you've ever been in a situation where you had to walk away from a relationship, whether it be with a female, friends, or any situation? Have you ever been in that situation, bro?
So, bro, plenty of times, you know, especially, it's like every time I go to a new chapter in my life, it's a lot of that, you know, it's a lot of relationships I got to walk away from. It's a lot of people I got to step back from, and, you know, people that I love, people that are close, and it gets to a point to where, you know, you trying to manage it, you know, they're giving you a hard time, they making it almost impossible. So now you just got to walk away. And what I found with walking away, sometimes that's the best way to teach a person that you're serious about your life. That's the best way to let them know. Because if you talking, you know, yap, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, but you still there, they like, well, he ain't left yet, you know, or he's still here. But if you can prove it, like, yo, they gonna test it. But then when you leave, you know, for a few months, no communication for a few months, then it's kind of like, okay, he's serious. So let me make some type of adjustment so we can have that relationship, bro. So yeah, bro, for me, it's been plenty of times. What about you? You got any recent examples or anything?
Yeah, man. I remember just I would say recently, like I always talk about this, like I was addicted to marijuana. it kind of sounds bad, but so, you know, when you're in a certain situation where you've been doing it for a while, you build up I would say friendships, or either friendships, dependencies on multiple different things, but friendships, people that you follow on like YouTube or like Instagram. And I noticed is that once I stopped smoking weed, when I stopped and consuming weed, I no longer followed those certain people. I had to walk away because what I wanted wasn't in alignment with what they wanted, because they were still smoking weed. They were still doing the different things that was, you know, involved in weed. And now I'm not saying like, and now I still have some friends that still do. I still got like, you know, cousins, family that still do. Don't mean I don't hate you. Don't mean that I don't love you. I still do, but I can't be around that because that's what I like to do. And I don't want to be around that anymore because I want to grow. That's not who I want to be. So you just got to know when to walk away, whether you're addicted to a drug, whether you're, you know, want to be involved in like certain fitness goals, or if it's something in your life not in alignment with what you want, know when it's no longer benefiting you. And I think that's what it comes down to. And I'm not saying like benefiting you and you're stepping on the other people, but if it's not working towards your future self, you got to know when to walk away, my brothers and sisters. And it's important.
Bro, I agree 100%. Yep, knowing when to walk away. And I love that you use the marijuana example, because you can have relationships with things as well that you need to walk away from. And I give an example of that too. Like, I love how you said, once you stop doing certain things, you start walking away. You stop following certain people. You stop putting yourself in those type of tempting environments, because if you around a lot of temptation, I heard once before, the best way to beat temptation is to stay away from it.
Stay away from it.
Because it's only so much willpower you got. Like, it's only so much, so many times you can say no to the cheesecake. Like, there's so many times you can say that, bro. You need to just get it. I love cheesecake, by the way.
Yeah, that first off, it be hitting. What's your favorite flavor before you get back into it?
Bro, the regular, bro, just the regular strawberry joint. You feel me?
Oh, yeah?
That's it.
Do Maya make the cheesecakes or nah?
She made one
Or she just
before,
make the
not for me
cake.
yet. Yeah, she just baking cakes right now. We had just bought a
That birthday
cheesecake, but
coming up though, so uh-oh.
yeah, my first request was a cheesecake, but then she was like, "But I want to make a cake," you know. So I'm kind of like, "Cool," because her
Make
cake's
both.
good too. I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah." Like, baby, make both. But yeah, bro.
Yeah.
So on the cheesecake tip, yeah, temptation, right? You got to
Yeah.
start learning that you got to remove yourself. And an example I am gonna give is, for example, if you want to be happily married, like for example, and you surrounded by a bunch of single people,
Mm.
I'm sorry, but bro, it's only you're not gonna have a happy marriage. I have yet to
Mm.
see a super happy married man who goes out with single guys every weekend.
No,
No,
no. I
too
only
much
hang with
temptation.
people that's married. All my friends is married, bro. Yeah, because
Likewise,
they're not in, they don't have the same. Bro, this is all right. I'm gonna let you finish, bro. But just in this situation,
bro, because that's
if you
big,
hang
right?
with,
Because like, yeah, go
yeah,
ahead,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, okay, bet. Yeah, bro, because yeah, if you hanging with people that if you got this certain goal, like Terrence was saying, this certain dream, and these people you hang with, they pulling you this way, then
Mm-hmm.
bro, you have to walk away, or you gotta let go of that. You gotta let yourself know,
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna be here to be married and kick it with you guys. Y'all gonna get me in
Yeah.
trouble. I'm gonna
I'm
be the
not gonna
one
be
going
happy.
home, and then I'm gonna
Yeah.
be the one y'all like, man, bro, you lame, bro. You wanna? And then they start throwing cracker jokes at you and throwing shots, bro.
It
You
is what it
lame, bro.
is.
You yeah, you know.
It is what it
So
is.
you get around married
Man.
people though, like Terrence is married, so I get a
Mm-hmm.
lot of advice from him. I don't ask advice from people who ain't got a happy. Why would you do that? So
Yeah.
you
Makes
want to
sense.
surround yourself with people that do. My uncle that I'm in business with, he's been married for about 15 years. So,
Amazing.
bro, who you around? You got to know, like Terrence said, you got to know when to walk away from the individuals that's hindering it, bro. So.
Know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em. Something like that. I don't know how that song go, but so we gave y'all 5 tips, and just to kind of recap on those 5 tips. But it's number 1 is just remind yourself, that your success is most important, and it's not the fact that both parties want to be successful, but if the person's not in alignment with your success, know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Number 2, do not respond in emotion. Number 3, be authentically you. And I think, Rasta, we may have to make another podcast on that one. Tip number 4, deliver on your promises. And tip number 5, know when to walk away. So if y'all got some value from this podcast, make sure that you like, subscribe, and you can even hit the notification bell. This is the Awaken Your Best podcast. Rasta, man, what you got up for the rest of the day, my brother? Still early on my end. What about you?
Yeah, bro, over here, wifey got some plans. She want to go out later. We going really, I'm chilling right now. I might, get a haircut maybe. Other than that, though, I do got a bro I used to be, in real estate with. He wanna, we gonna kick it tonight. We gonna link up and talk a new business venture that we've been looking into. So, yeah, bro. Other than that, that's pretty much it for me. What about you?
Same thing, bro. Just about to go hang out here in San Diego, link out, have a guys' night. I ain't had one in a while, man.
Yes, sir.
Yo, it's all about hitting those goals. It's all about being ambitious. It's all about awakening your best. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Make sure that you check out Rasta's YouTube page, Rasta White. Also, Rasta White on Instagram. But then also, we'll leave all the links down below. Y'all know how we do every single episode. We appreciate y'all.
Sir.
My name is Terrence Feagin. This is Rasta White. We out. We love y'all.
Peace.